welcome back. So maximum subarray, just like you need to maximum your salary when you negotiate with the HR. Anyways, if you've been following me for a while, you might be realizing that we have done this question before. Maximum subarray, it was a coding challenge about 2 years ago, 2019. I did it in Java, so it was part of the Java coding challenges. But I like to do it again because I already forgot what I did, and I just thought that this is a very frequent question. Also, it's a very basic yet very important question for you to master, for any programmer, for any software engineer. I don't like to say programmer, makes it look like make it sound like I work on HTML. But anyways, so this question is basic but very important for every software engineer to get familiar and understand. So I did it in 2019 with Java, but now I'm going to do it in Swift. Here, Swift. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so given an integer array some nums, find a contiguous. I think it meant to say continuous, but anyways, subarray containing at least one number which has the largest sum, and return its sum. A subarray, it's a contiguous part of the array. Okay, so let's see, we have array like this, and then the output is 6. 4, -1, 2, 1 has the largest sum, 6. Okay, 1 is 1, and 5, 4, -7, 8, we have 23, which is 5, 4, 9, 8, 15, 23. So this entire array. If you have figured out the ON solution, try coding another solution using divide and conquer approach. Well, since we only have 15 minutes, I'll probably just finish it off as soon as possible. So, okay, let me move the camera here. All right, so for any finding maximum of array question, where it's important to have a local window, and we call it this is one of the sliding window problem, even though it doesn't need us to find the indices of this maximum array, but it's also a easy sliding window problem. So if you don't know what a sliding window problem is, I think I did a video on sliding window problem in Java before, so you can go through my Java coding challenge. But anyways, this is a sliding window problem, and we need to have two variables that one keeps track of the local max, and the other keeps track of the global max. So, and now first of all, how do we keep track of the max sum? From here, it looks like, so let's start from 1, from the first element, -2, 1. So if we start from the first element, the local max would be -2, right? So far, because we're only going through one element, and then we see 1, which means that the local max, if you add 1 to -2, well, -2, this one has increased, but the number would be greater if we just have 1, right? So we remove -2, which means that whenever we are iterating through the elements of array, for every element we are going to check if the previous sum, right, or the local max, it's negative or not. Now if it's negative, then we don't want to add any negative to the current number, right? So if it's negative, then we can start a new local max. But at the same time, we need to keep track of a global max. So we start from -2, 1. So we see 1, we abandon -2, we start from 1. And then we see -3. However, the local max right now is 1, so it's positive. So 1, -3 is at least larger than -3. So we keep going. 1, -3, and then we have 4, which is 0 right now, right? Sorry. So now 1, -2, the local max is right now is -2, and then we set 4. So we want to get rid of 1 and -3 because the sum is negative, and we don't want to negatively impact our current element. So we start a fresh one, 4, and then we have -2. Okay, so basically now, so let's start coding. Okay, so first of all, if nums count is equal to 1, then we can return nums 0. And first of all, we'll assign a local max. We'll create a local max and a global max. So let's say var, this is the global max, it's equal to nums 0, and var local max equal to nums 0. Okay, so we have the max, local max, and 4. I keep being influenced by Java syntax. I just want to do this. No. For I in 1 dot less than count. So this is why your first language is very important, because it's just like your first mother language. Once you get used to it, it's just like when you know your mother tongue and you start learning other languages, you're gonna have an accent. And right now I'm having an accent in Java because I'm having, I type things like this. But anyways, so for every element in this array, now we're going to check if currently the local max is larger than 0, then sure, we want to add it to, we want to also add it to, we also want to add a current element to the local max. So local max will be equal to nums in I plus local max. Okay, and else. Okay, if local max is equal to 0 or negative, then we don't need to add it, right? We'll start a fresh local max, nums I, and then after that we'll compare the local max with max. So max is, there is a max function in Swift, local max and max. Okay, and then we'll return max. Okay, so let's see. Error, cannot call value of non function type int max. Okay, so here's the thing, because this is Swift is being very careful. It's a very careful language. So you have a max here, and they complain about having int. So it's because it can't tell the difference between this max and this max. So they thought Swift thought that we're using this variable as the function. So it's kind of stupid, but because Java will be able to tell, but now you have to specify this as a function. So okay, so looks pretty good. We have 5 minutes left, so let's submit it. Okay, faster than 89%. Okay, cool. So yeah, with the takeaway, well, I guess we can optimize because here it's a little bit repetitive. So I think we can do things like local max equal to nums I plus, so local max, if local max is larger than 0, then let's add a parentheses around. If larger than 0, then we will assign local max to it. Otherwise, we do nothing. So we'll basically assign 0 to it. And let's comment this out. Let's see what it is. So this is optimization. Just make the line a bit shorter. But I think this is also fine. But there's a trend on decode that you need to shorten the lines as short as possible. Even sometimes you shorten it to the point where it's not readable. So I don't think this is a very smart trend, a very healthy trend. So this will work too. 89, still the same speed. So anyways, so hopefully you can learn from this. So for Swift, remember you have to call Swift library if your method name happens to have the same name as your to be assigned variable, or you can just change the variable, change this to global max or something else. So I guess this is a takeaway from this, and I'm really glad to thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye bye.